Hi, Hunter Hastings here. I want to explain to patrons a little bit more about what we're doing at Center for Individualism. We're going to teach young people individual economics. Economics is life. Individual economics is about making good decisions throughout your life. If you make good decisions for yourself and for others, you create a better society. It's the social system of good decision making. We're translating some principles of individual economics that are often expressed in academic terms into everyday language and everyday examples. It's classic content made simple. Let me start with a story about how one individual can change others' behavior and change a society. I grew up in England, a class-ridden socialist welfare dependency society. Then along came one person, Margaret Thatcher, quoting F.A. Hayek's Constitution of Liberty. And she changed the way people behaved. One example, a lot of working class and poor people lived in free or subsidized housing that were called council houses. Those houses quickly became slums because there was no incentive to maintain them. Mrs. Thatcher changed individual thinking and individual behavior by gifting those houses to their occupiers. They became private property owners. They had new incentives because now they had private property that was wealth and could be traded. Those houses were quickly spruced up. Just one example of how individual economics can change the way people behave. But there are many more principles besides private property. First, of course, individualism. We take responsibility for our own personal decisions. We are free to try as hard as we can, and no one gets to place a limit on how far an individual can advance through their own efforts. It's a betterment system. Everybody strives to better their own circumstances, and they do so by serving others. So if an entrepreneur comes up with a new idea to better serve consumers, the consumer wins by achieving betterment, and the entrepreneur wins by achieving business success. It's a self-organizing system of betterment. It also is about subjective decisions. There's no mathematics in individual economics. Individual decisions are made on the basis of values, preferences, and subjective considerations. And so it's important to develop strong values in order to make good decisions. We also help people to understand the idea of opportunity cost. Every decision is an opportunity cost decision. You do X, you can't do Y. You eat that candy bar, you're not going to be skinny. You go to the movies, you're not studying for your exams. If you understand opportunity costs, then you'll make better decisions throughout your life. It also includes the idea of time structure and time preference. It takes time to create new ideas. It takes time to accumulate capital. And so time preference has to include the idea of not consuming now and instead investing and saving now so that future rewards can be achieved. The entrepreneur especially makes a sacrifice in the short term in order to succeed in the long term. The opposite of that time preference is, I want it now. And we'll try and build a morality of long-term thinking and against short-term indulgent consumption. Another idea in individual economics is consumer sovereignty. That is, the consumer decides what's produced and what is successful in the marketplace. And so that's how the self-organizing system is built. Entrepreneurs try to understand consumer needs. They develop new goods and services, and the consumer decides by buying or not buying. Not buying is feedback, buying is feedback. And so the system self-improves. As long as consumers are free to be the drivers of the economy through their buying and not buying, an economic system can grow. And in all of this, economics also generates political individualism. General principles that support everybody in a free market, but don't support special interest groups, special identities, redistribution from one group to another. And so eventually, economic decision makers will eschew politics. They won't pursue the political way. They'll pursue the economic way. And that's good for everybody. So currently, Center for Individualism is a content site. We're developing our first online course for individual economics. And we've got speaking engagements all about the country that are planned now, and we'll start getting the word out. Our content site is reaching regularly more than 6,000 people from just starting last year. And the surge for individualism is on. We thank you for your help.